Hi, I'm Cameron Krakowiak here at the Davidsonian. I'm excited to share some great insights into some of Davidson's finest scholar athletes.
My name's Bella Brady.
I'm Sola Omonije.
I'm Jessie Doyal.
You both came into Davidson during the pandemic year, so it must have been really hard to adjust to D1 athletics during that pandemic year. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience coming into Davidson and your adjustment from high school to college?
So I came in with an open mind. I feel like everything during the pandemic was already uncertain, so I wasn't assuming that we would have a full season, let alone play it all. So I was really grateful for what we were able to achieve during that time, and I feel like I was able to grow as a player and as an athlete despite being in the pandemic.
So that season was kind of just, I had a growth mindset, I would say, my freshman year. One thing that our coaches really highlighted was just being ready to go at any moment. So during the fall, which is when we normally have our volleyball season, it was very uncertain whether we were going to play at all. And everyone was just firing all cylinders, ready to go whenever we were called in to come play. So it ended up being in the spring, and it ended up being a shortened season, but we did pretty well, and it was just a big season for growth for all of us, especially as freshmen.
That first year, you guys only won 2 games that season. And looking, I know it's kind of a big difference now where you guys stand. You've already won 8 on the year. Looking back on it, how do you see the growth of the team, and what can you attribute to that?
I would attribute that to just a big mindset shift and change. I know that coming in freshman year, it didn't feel the best, not only winning 2 games in a season, and the whole time I know my class's mindset and the mindset of our class above us was we should be winning and we will be winning.
How do you feel that the team culture kind of shifted and changed, and what was the mechanism that allowed it to take off and you guys to become super successful?
Yeah, I would say an entire mindset change. When we got here freshman year, there was obviously a lot going on with COVID, and Davidson Volleyball as a program hadn't had a ton of winning seasons in the Atlantic 10. And I think because of that, we kind of set our mentality as it would be okay if we lost a match here and there. And after freshman year, we completely flipped that switch. We had a meeting with the team and our coaches, and we decided that it's not okay for us to not win games, and that we wanted to grow as a team and be better.
And we actually had Dee Davis, an assistant coach that we had for the past 2 years. She really instilled the idea of having internal belief within the team. So believing that we can do it, and that was just a big mindset shift that I would attribute to the success of the team.
Last year was one of the most successful years in Davidson Volleyball program history. And going back to what we talked about before earlier is kind of like a culture shift 2 years ago. What would you say was the main attribute to your success last season, especially going deep into the A10 playoffs and finishing the regular season second overall?
First thing that comes to my mind is I want to go back to belief, because I think that our assistant coach at the time, Dee, really instilled that in us, that we have to believe that we can do this and take this team to heights that it's never seen before. And more importantly, each person on the team believed that we could, and then we did.
Who for you was a teammate you looked to in times of trouble, whether that be academically or whether that be on the court?
I would say right now and at the time, Jessie Doyal is still someone that I really look to. We obviously spend a lot of time together, as both of our positions are kind of in the same general area of the court, and I think we both have had some really highs and really lows in terms of our mental game on the court, and I think she's always been someone that could be there for me whenever I was in ruts or struggling. I would say most with my mental game, and just always an encouraging and happy face. She also loves to bring energy, so.
Wait, is it cheesy if I say you?
Ah! That's really sweet.
Sola is definitely a teammate that I would highlight because she provides not only a sense of calm, but also a sense of reliable confidence all the time on the court. So she knows whenever she needs to speak up during timeouts, and she also knows whenever she feels like she needs to just be a support system that's kind of quiet and consistent on the court. And I think she's someone that everyone on the team can look up to.
The first person that comes to my mind is Brady. She's not only like a firecracker on the court and like a shot of espresso, but she's super passionate about volleyball, the program, the team, and everyone individually on the team and the coaching staff. And she's the woman who takes initiative and she gets stuff done. And just seeing like her diligence in the sport and beyond the sport is really inspiring for me.
Do you think that the team is a lot more fun and enjoyable to watch than before? I mean,
I'll say
That's fair.
volleyball was always fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think that as a whole, our team has been really intentional about making sure that we're connecting with people outside of our team, whether it's other teams, people in our classes, clubs that we're a part of academically and things like that, and encouraging even our professors to come watch us play, because a lot of people haven't ever been to a volleyball game before, and then they kind of love it and decide that they're going to come to a lot more. So I feel like that tends to be the trend, and I think we're a lot of fun to watch.
I second that, honestly. I feel like especially with last season, we gained so much traction just like around the town, in the athletic department, and we just kept rolling and kept the graphics coming and kept being active on campus and letting everybody know when we have games.
if there's one thing that you want people to know about Davidson Volleyball and the rest of the season, what would you want them to know?
I'll say I think that we're the most fun court sport to watch. Absolutely. We have the most energy. We're the loudest. No hate to any other court sports, but I think that we bring the most energy and excitement to the table. So we're super fun to watch. And we do have a couple, Kelly and Steven, that chest bump after every single point and come to every single home game. So you can always look out for them.
How would you say Davidson Volleyball and Davidson College in general has changed your life?
I think the two most important things Davidson and Davidson Volleyball have taught me is resilience and self-advocacy. Resilience on the volleyball court, that one's pretty, I guess, self-explanatory, just being able to, like, when there's an obstacle, be able to bounce back, and that, again, translates to the classroom and academically and through so many different facets of life. And then self-advocacy, being able to voice, like, what you believe in without any outside pressure and finding confidence in that. And that's carried me through so many different opportunities on Davidson campus and then off Davidson campus as well.
So the first thing that comes to my mind would be connecting me with the Davidson Volleyball Alumni Network. When I got here as a freshman, I was super active in networking and wanting to connect with Davidson Volleyball alums because I knew of some pretty big names and women, some powerful women in the business industry that I really wanted to connect with and learn from. And that actually helped me get my internship this past summer working for Cummins, the diesel engine company. So I've connected with a couple of alums. Shout out to like Tyndall Sewell and Katie Moreau, of course, for helping me get that job. But it's definitely made me realize that I need to advocate for myself and that Davidson Volleyball and Davidson in general is setting me up for a ton of success in the real world.
For you, how have you had to navigate being really good in the classroom and on the court?
I would say time management and then support from our teammates. I think, Davidson is a really hard place to do athletics and be a student, but it's also an experience like no other. Getting to play Division I volleyball and take really hard, really challenging classes that prepare you for your future is an opportunity that most Division I athletes don't get. And I think that support from our teammates during really stressful times, and then also just figuring out what works for you and how to get all of your work done and prepare yourself for your games that are coming up are really like the best ways to go about it.
Looking back, because you're a senior now, what has been the most gratifying moment in your athletic experience?
I would definitely say our win against Dayton last year. when I came in freshman year, there was kind of like a split between our conference, and it was kind of looked upon like we could never really achieve wins against those top teams in our conference. And whenever we were able to go to Dayton and beat them, a team that's continuously won our conference every single year at their home with deficits in players, I think that was a really exciting experience for all of us, and it instilled that deep-rooted belief that I was kind of talking about earlier.
If you could describe the Davidson volleyball team in one word, I'll give you time to think about it. What word would that be?
I would say energetic. Everyone's really excited to go to practice. Everyone's really excited to see each other walking around campus, excited to see each other in lift. And we always greet each other with a wild sense of energy that just brings a smile to your face. You see each other walking around campus, or you're playing next to each other on the court, and someone's always looking at you with smile and excitement to be there. And I think that's something that our program has that not everyone has. And it makes the game really fun for us.